Hi guys, I'm gonna flip through part of my new journal. I've actually almost finished it, but I'm gonna make probably 2 videos because I haven't finished painting everything. I'm just showing you painted pages. Here we go. Okay guys, it's been a while. So this journal, oh I forgot, I have to cover my personal information. You know, I covered everything else except the first page. So actually, that's kind of funny. So there's going to be a lot of these sticky notes in there. So actually a good tip for people that are doing flip throughs in their journal is I put kind of a little symbol in my journal, and it's kind of like a no sign with a circle and a line in the middle. Like no smoking, except it's do not put on YouTube symbol because it's personal information and it may not be something I want to share, or it may be something about one of my friends or a family member or something that's personal that I don't really want to talk about because it was just my personal thoughts. So just keep that in mind. This I made from these dollar store stamps I got, which were really fun. It says philosophy student at York University with the goal of becoming a teacher to inspire kids like me who hated school. God. What? Oh, I love God. That's supposed to be a heart. That was supposed to be in the corner. But it's hard to read upside down, but that was actually pretty good. So in the beginning of my journal, I started a new tradition. So this one I started August 10th, 2018. So I put my age at the top. I put my address, my phone number, please return to, and then my address actually, in that order. I put a picture of me at the current time of when I did the journal, and this was my blurb about me. It's like, what was I doing? What did I look like? And if I lose it, this is the information. And it's kind of fun to look back because I've had a couple phone numbers over the years to see what phone number I had at the time. Oh, and this is my cover, by the way. So I just used different stickers and I made a plastic cover. This one I actually got in Japan, but I do make them, so if you want a tutorial on how to make a plastic cover like this and looks just like this, then let me know in the comments below. Kind of lie down here so I can read with you guys. It's my legs falling asleep. So this is my index, which has also become quite a regular thing. There's things that I've tried in my journals, which, to be honest, are hit or miss. Sometimes, hold on, let me just clean this lens. I don't know how clean this is. I think that's better. Sometimes, to be honest, like, I try something and it's not for me. I just doesn't work. Hold on, I'm trying to make it more light here. Sorry. It just doesn't work. Like, there's different techniques I've tried, there's different pens I've tried, and if it doesn't work, I just don't continue. But it's really good to try different things. So this is my index, and I write really funny titles sometimes. So I can't really read my cursive too well, so I'm gonna have to read it with you guys. Let me turn it around actually to read these. Reanimate him for questioning, pray to save a mantis, taxes scare ghouls, welcome gnome, women float, men sink. So a lot of these, well, they all relate to the topic actually, but they're just kind of funny renditions. And it's to sum up the topic, because a lot of times I go through my journals and I think, well, I wanted to find the story of blah blah blah, and I have to search through. I mean, you should see how many journals I have, like 30. So it's really hard. This just makes it a lot easier, and you know, I can see what I'm doing on a specific day. Like if I wanted to know what I was doing Sunday, September 9th, make me, you scamp, and tattoo idea. Well, I could flip to that page, which we will be doing eventually, and you can see what it's all about. So I like reading some of these at the beginning. They're kind of cute. Toot Toot Babes, Get Your Grubby Hands Off My Nuts, The Invention of a Timeless Braille Add-on, The Different Parallelness, First Pitch Bitch, Achievements Equals No Meaning. So they're kind of interesting. And then I took the liberty in painting all these pages, so I have extra room for indexes if I need it. Always leave that at the beginning. This was a painting I did of Fairly Odd Parents at the beginning. My friend and I had a TA named Vicky, and we just started talking about Icky Vicky, which is a character in the show. And so we just kept calling her Icky Vicky because she just was really incompetent and would never respond to our emails, and we actually never got our grades. Like, we got our final grade and that was it. We didn't get any of the individual grades from any of the assignments, which really shouldn't happen in my opinion. We got no feedback, but I guess that's York for you. I hate to say it. But anyway, yeah, so I do that. And I actually started watching the show again just because we were talking about it so much and calling her that. It reminded me of my childhood. This is a page, and I posted this one on Instagram, but I mean, it's in the journal. Might as well explain it a little bit. It's the idea of a tiny home versus a DIY school bus RV. I went to Santa Cruz earlier in the year to go skiing, gosh, what's wrong with me, surfing at Pleasure Point, and there's a lot of people that had converted school buses or just were taking RVs, and they were traveling, and they had just parked there and to see the beach, and it really inspired me. And I don't really know if I'd ever do this. I'd probably be more likely to buy a shack in the middle of nowhere, but I was just going over the pros and cons of both. And then this is when I went for a trail run with Kobe. It was actually private property. I used to go there as a kid, and we entered from the back of my old school, so there was no private property signs. But when I entered this new way, which was more accessible from the road, so I didn't have to go through my old school, it's like 2 minutes into the campus, so it's kind of awkward. Kids getting out of school, and some random ladies walking with their dog on the playground to go into the woods, like, forget that. But anyway, so I entered through another entrance, and it was all these do not enter. But I went anyway because I really want to find these praying mantises. They were all over when I was a kid in that area, and I haven't been able to find them in years, and still I didn't see any. But I was really sad because I love praying mantises. I actually really like bugs, so. Oh my gosh. This was page. This was a page where I was talking about reanimation. So let's bring the dead back to life for questioning. I was watching this sorry, TV show called Altered Carbon, and it was talking about that a little bit. That wasn't really the main focus, but it was a very interesting premise of the show. It was basically that people have skins, which are what we would call bodies, except people can be switched out of the skin. So you could put your essence, which were kind of stored in these hard drives in your neck, and which had all your memories and everything in these bodies. So people were getting arrested, and you're put into this virtual jail, but if they wanted to bring you back for questioning, or if your time was up, then they would put you in another body. So that was really cool, and it just reminded me of that, and I just wrote it down because it's something I wanted to remember, because I thought it was neat. And then I wanted to look up astral projection studies, because I've done lucid dreaming before, and my uncle's done astral projection, but I don't know much about it. But I wanted to look up some studies, and it was very, like, if there's any scientific backing, and it was very, very interesting, because I looked up this study, and apparently there was this one lady that claimed that she could go into astral projection on her own accord very quickly, and it actually, the left side of her brain, which was associated with kinesthetic imagery, suddenly started changing as she went into astral projection, and it actually was a very interesting study, and just how it suggested she was experiencing something even though she was just lying there. But her brain was saying that she was actually experiencing something. So it was fascinating that science was able to pick that up. So it's very interesting to see science overlapping with spirituality as well. That stuff really, really fascinates me. Um, Today I just killed it that day. I went to the gym, I handed in a long, long essay, and the premise was, if God knows what I will do in the future, and God is perfect and therefore never wrong, am I free? I actually got an A+ in this class, and essay was a huge part of it, and Icky Vicky graded it, so maybe I shouldn't be so hard on her. But I'm assuming I got a really good mark on that essay, even though she didn't bother to send us the marks. My mark in the overall class was good, and that was a huge chunk of it. So I think I did good. And I was trying to figure out why my last name is Sweet. And I'm like, how the heck did that happen? And I'm like, well, maybe someone was a baker. But then I also wondered if people could share the same last name and not be related, which is probably right. I'm assuming that's pretty common. But I just wonder, like, how that came about. Like, did you have multiple families in the town that were all bakers and they all liked the last name Sweet? Or did they only allow one last name per town? Like, if someone was a baker and someone was a bread maker, or how about someone made candy and someone made baked goods? But if they both wanted their last name to be Sweet, would they allow that? Or would, like, for two non-blood related families, or did they have to choose another name because the other person already chose Sweet? What if they chose at the same time? So I was thinking all these strange thoughts about that. On this page I'm gonna skip paper in there. And this is another page that was just talking about my insomnia from when I was a kid. I used to walk around the house exploring from when I can remember, because I could just never sleep. And I had this thing, and I still have it, called visual snow. And my mom thought I was crazy when I was a kid, because I told her I could see atoms in the air. And I didn't know how else to explain it as a child, but it actually looks like some sort of particles or something moving through the air. Obviously that's impossible, which I acknowledge, but I didn't know how else to say it. So I told my eye doctor once as a kid, and my mom interrupted me and said, "That's for another doctor," and kind of made the crazy symbol. And I was like, okay, well, I know I'm not crazy, but anyway, I actually found out years later that it's an actual thing, so you might as well look it up. It's really cool, and it actually looks really cool. And so at night in low lighting, and when I was tired, that's when it's most prominent. And so when I was a kid, I was just fascinated by it, and I would walk around the house and look in the different lighting to see how it manifested differently. And that was my childhood. No wonder I have insomnia. But it was actually really fun. That sounds really bizarre, actually, but whatever. And then this is a thing about, like, just wanting to help people that I dated. Like, James, my ex, I said God can help James more than I ever could, and let God help people. That it's not up to me to help people. It's not up to me to change people's lives. Only they can do it, and it's really hard for me because I want to help people, and I want to be, I really love people, and I really love helping, and that's a bad combination sometimes because I need to put myself first more, which I am starting to do. And I feel like journaling throughout my life has been a huge part of this, because I just really enjoy it. It's been a constant in my life, and it's been really probably the only place that's been consistently a place where I could write anything I wanted, say anything I wanted, and not feel like I was being judged. Because let's face it, if you tell something to anyone, they're gonna judge you, consciously, unconsciously, I mean, it may not even be malicious. It may be a good thing. But they might judge you and say, wow, that girl's really cool. But still, it's a judgment. And this is the only place where I feel like I can be really neutral with how I feel. And I really love that. It's been such a comforting thing for me. I've been doing it almost every day since I was 12. Not the drawing part, but writing. So actually, the drawing part wasn't until college, but. And then this is the next page. I went playing tennis with my friend in Hyde Park. It was the first time I played tennis, and I did really well, actually. Um, there was this coach there that watched me, and he was saying that I was really good, and that there was several coaches there other than him that were willing to actually give me free lessons that coached people for fees. Which was really nice, but it was all the way in Toronto, which is pretty far from me. So I didn't take them up on that, but it was very nice of them. And yeah, that was one of the things I've been learning this year, is that I am very athletic, and I just never thought I was. I mean, I've been going to the gym for a while, but I never thought I could be good at sports and these things. But I mean, now I'm on I just finished the fast pitch season at York, and now I'm in the football team, and I'm like, how the heck did I get on these teams? I know nothing about sports. But yeah, I guess lifting helps, and yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. It's still a shock for me, but it's a good shock. This was a little heart hotel. Can't really see too well. These are the little rooms, little doors, and it says vacancy, heart hotel. This is a quote that was in our science classroom in high school, and I don't know why I loved it so much. You know, the quotes that I love the most, the Bible verses that I love the most, I can't even explain why I like it. Several quotes just came to my mind. Like, there's another one by Sylvia Plath that says, oh gosh, I want to be, oh gosh, I haven't thought of it in years, but I'm pretty sure it's I want to be important by being different, and these girls are all the same. And I just love that. And also my favorite Bible parable, I don't even know why I like it. It's Lazarus and the rich man, and it's about this man that was sitting at the door, this homeless man of a rich man, and they both died, and the rich man went to hell because he was a mean person, he didn't believe in God. And he finally realized God was real, and that he kind of had messed up in his life because he had treated Lazarus, the homeless man, so badly. And he actually asked God, can I go back to earth and warn my brothers of the fact that you're real? And just like God said, they're not gonna, something like, if they don't believe the prophets and everything that I've put on this world, then they're not going to believe a dead man coming back to life. And that was just so chilling to me. And I don't know why I like that, but it's just like, anyway, this quote is, the human heart, at whatever age, opens only to the heart that opens in return. I don't know why that's so beautiful, but it just is. Which is really weird, because I'm very opinionated about a lot of things, if you haven't noticed. And the fact that I don't have an opinion on some, like, not that I don't have an opinion, but the fact that I don't know why I like these quotes and these parables specifically is very abnormal for me. So maybe that's why I like them so much, in a way. But God is not a woman. Take that, Ariana Grande. That was just some notes I took. And then, oh, this is something I did. I want my room clean by blank, and I have 8 hours left of cleaning. I need to do half an hour a day. So I was kind of trying to figure out the math of how much I have to do. And my room isn't ever that bad, but I was moving, so I had a lot to unpack and clean. I wanted it done before school. I got it done, thank God. But there was a lot to do to move all the contents of a condo into a tiny little room. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go a little bit faster here. Oh, this page is cool. It's really fun. I might just stop here because I do have to go. I'm going out. So I will continue. I have a lot left to go, so I'm gonna stop right here, and I will be back with at least one more video. I probably will wait till I paint the whole thing, but I still have a good 20 pages of paintings left. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I will post the next one soon.